kids' movie. It was a teenagers' movie in the 80s. But it's true. You need to embrace the energy. It's like Steve Bush said, Stan Bush, not Steve, it's like Stan Bush said, you got the touch, you got the power, bum bum. After all is said and done. Are we going to get demonetized because that's copyright? No.
Good evening. Welcome back to Clinically Awesome. I'm Deirdre, and this is...
Danger Gene. Hi, welcome to the show. How are you doing today, Deirdre?
I'm good. Really
so
good.
Tell us a little bit about what brought you to Clinically Awesome. Wait, I'm not the host.
You could be if you want to.
I'm the guest, but I'm not Christopher Guest. Christopher Guest was a member of Spinal Tap. So tonight on Clinically Awesome, we're going to take it to 11. Not the 11 from Stranger Things. That's a little girl. That's a different type of show. Hi, welcome to the show. I already said that.
So, I'm just curious, where do you get your outfit inspiration from?
GQ. Apparently GQ is a magazine. Years ago, a friend of mine said, I flipped the table.
It's alright.
It's the start of the show and I flipped the table.
Designer table.
But I flipped it this way, not... he said, why do you dress like that? You need to read GQ and learn how to dress like a man. And I said, I don't want to dress like a man. I want to dress like a person. Where do I get my... I don't know. From comics and movies and... Dress for the job you want. And that's why so many people dress like Batman. Although a shocking number of people dress like school kids. With their blue shirts and their grey pants. And it's like, dude, just dress properly. Anyway, enough.
Yeah.
I flipped the table again. We'll cut all of this out. I'll pretend to rest my arm on this table.
I'll look cute like that.
I like that. Yes. Cut. Hi, welcome to Clinically Awesome. I'm Gene.
And I'm Deirdre.
And on today's show, we're going to be talking about my books and Deirdre's fascination with my outfit. Later, I might take the outfit off. But that's for Clinically Awesome After Dark. Are you ready? The following program is not recommended for children or prudes. If you're still watching, we're probably going to get demonetized. Are we monetized?
That's my questions. Alright, so...
I'm studying.
It's good that you're studying. So I'll be studying on the first question. It would be...
The first question. Clinically Awesome. Question 1.
Yes. So, how do you come about being a comic book artist?
Well, to the first question, when a man and a woman love each other very much. That's again Clinically Awesome After Dark. Stay tuned after these messages to find out how to join up. 0055 Clinically Awesome. No, how did I become about being a comic book artist? So, just like any normal person, I've loved comic books since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. That's a catchy phrase that means, don't flip the table, Gene. That's a catchy phrase that means when I was very young. Our next door neighbour, she used to give me comic books. And I was reading comics before I could read. Of course, pictures and stuff. And that was the 70s, which was actually a really good time for superhero stuff. We had cartoons, Hanna-Barbera, Filmation were doing a lot of stuff on TV. Comic books, I didn't say Can we cut that out? Comic books were still available in newsagents, so you could buy comics everywhere. My grandparents, my parents would buy me comics. And I come from a family of artists. So my mum's a landscape artist, my dad's a physicist and model maker. All 4 of my grandparents were of an artistic bent. So I grew up in an environment of support and encouragement. There was never a put the comic books down and learn how to kick a football, which I still don't know how to do, by the way. And I actually remember when I was small, and like friends would come over to play, and the visit would always finish with us sitting on the living room floor drawing on old computer paper. Computer paper in the 70s and early 80s was perforated because it was, and my dad would bring home waste paper for me to doodle on. And that was always a fun thing, especially in winter, because as it would get into the evening, it would get really cold. I mean, not cold, cold. For people living in Europe, or like Harbin, or Hokkaido, hello, all our friends in Hokkaido, konnichiwa. For them, it's not cold, but in Australia, it's cold. Can we cut that? So you couldn't keep playing outside. You had to come inside. I know kids today don't know about playing outside. So the door, kids, you go out the door and there's stuff out there.
Grass.
There's grass.
Touch grass. Yeah.
There's creatures. There's beetles. You can play with beetles.
Roll in the mud.
Not the beetles. Because they're half dead. So, hashtag John Lennon forever. Yeah, so we draw, and I distinctly remember when I was in about third grade, that's P3 for the Singaporeans, I was having a discussion. I wasn't having a discussion, the whole class was having a discussion. What do you want to be when you grow up? And there were all of the, I want to be a fireman, and I want to be a doctor, and I want to be a race car driver, I want to be on Sale of the Century, that was a game show. And I said, I want to be an artist. I want to draw. And somehow I forgot to not do that. And I just kept drawing. And my mum and dad helped me. I piggybacked on one of mum's exhibitions when I was about 14. So my first exhibition was when I was 14. And out of that, I got my first published work, which was some terrible, terrible cartoons in the Environmental Law newsletter. And Dad would get me freelance work through his lab, doing poster design, etc.
And welcome back to Clinically Awesome. So Jean, I'm gonna bombard you with questions.
I am a bard, and I have bombed before. Okay. Tonight on Clinically Awesome, we're going to sing a song, but if I forget the words, it's going to be wrong.
So, question 2 would be, so you mentioned that the art community in Singapore is more close-knitted compared to Sydney, Australia.
I did, actually, I said that.
Yeah.
Now, I've been gone a long time. I've been in Singapore almost 30 years. And I think Singapore's very small, relatively speaking. I've been to Johor. Johor's quite a bit bigger, more spread out. But when I first got here, I was impressed by how supportive people were of each other. There's a lot more acceptance. And I know people are going to say, no lah, there's not, very difficult to be an artist here. Cannot. Cannot is what you say before you don't do something. And if you go in with the attitude of, wow, look at all these things that you can do, like this show, then you start doing things. And that's what I found here, that maybe it's because I'm an outsider, very easy to get things done. But it's not, it's actually quite hard, because people listen to you, but they also ignore you. But I found it was easier to get things done. And my first boss actually hired me, not quite in a dare, but he said to me, if you come to Singapore, how are you going to fit in? Isn't it going to be difficult? And I said, well, I don't know, but if I don't try, I'll never know, and it's an adventure, right? And I saw his face, and when I said it's an adventure, that was like, yeah, okay. And I was working in a company of about 200 people. There was me and one other Australian who curiously had grown up 20 minutes from where I grew up. He was a little bit older, but he left soon after I joined. But I had to re-evaluate my sense of identity. I was no longer part of the dominant culture. I was now a minority within a minority group. I had to learn to suppress a lot of the ego and the speaky-uppiveness, but I also learnt that there are positive aspects to not being afraid to speak up. And that is also how I was able to do this. Instead of, no, can't do it, what are people going to think, is this a good idea, is it flammable, aren't you afraid that somebody's going to put sticky tape on your face when you're asleep? Okay, that didn't happen more than once. And it was just do things. You have to do things. And I think we're seeing that now. I was at the Asia Comics Expo recently, which was a fascinating type of comics convention, because it was not the, let's go and see these famous people. Here's a famous person from overseas. It was a bunch of local people. It was people selling their wares. It was a celebration of doing rather than adoration of being. It wasn't about the fame, it was about the stuff that people do. And that is a powerful thing. That's the strength of the local art community. That's 200 booths of people saying, I can, rather than 200 people saying, I cannot lie, very difficult. My mother will beat me.
It's kind of surprising how like your parents are very supportive of you, whereas in Singapore it's like, huh? What art? Do what art? Go become a doctor lah, study, don't waste time. Art, no money. I'm just curious, like, why do you think society is like that? You know, the hustle culture, the rat race in Singapore.
I think there's a big part of it. People everywhere want to be rich quickly. Art takes effort. I was recently doing a presentation at Catapult, which is part of Capital Land, and I talked about the myth of talent. There is no such thing as talent. Nobody is born with powers. Even Superman had to grow into his talent. Superman's a hero. You have to have passion, and passion builds practice, and practice builds expertise, which is where quality art production comes from. When you play sport, the first time you pick up a basketball, you don't get a hole in one the first time. I don't know how basketball works. But if you drop the ball, do you say, that's it, I'm not LeBron James, I can't play baseball, pretend I know what the sport's called. You don't say, I can't do this. You give it a go, you practice, you play, you perform. With art, whether it's drawing or dancing or acting or presentation, you don't get better without doing. A lot of people forget this, but Keanu Reeves was in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, and his performance was okay. He was not the best part of that movie, but he took the bad reviews from that and the money that he earned from that performance, and he went away and did acting classes, and he applied himself. And Keanu Reeves isn't the best actor. He's no Dave Bautista. Yes, I'm putting it out there. Dave Bautista is a good actor. He's diverse. But he's a respected actor now, and he's well loved. His John Wick character and his Ted Theodore Logan are two sides of the same coin. But he didn't get there by magic. He didn't become a famous actor by saying, I can do this. He applied himself, he practiced. And it's that practice that you see people having problems with. The popularity of AI-generated art is not a celebration of technology, it's a celebration of laziness. I'm looking forward to AI running because I don't like running. It's hard work. I don't want to have to run. Give me the AI that tells me that I just did 40 kilometers. Bros, I've got the bod, but I didn't work for it. Why then would you want to take the fun part of art creation away to create art? This video takes effort. You're not going to see all the stuff that we had to cut from this. And when I say we, it's not actually me, I'm not cutting it. But you're not going to see all the stuff that we cut. That's effort. Or could we just generate an AI video that says what we want to say and it's good enough and it's okay, whatever. It's that. It's people want the easy way out. And I don't think it's that parents are anti-art. They don't want their kid to be an artist because there's no money in it. What they want is for their kids to be safe and happy. And there are prescribed jobs in society, and there's a strong hierarchy to employment in Singapore that I find quite disheartening sometimes. There's friends watching this who I'm calling out who work as helpers, and one friend, a bunch of friends, they are brilliant people, poets, artists, actors, who happen to work as a helper. I have a very good friend who is an awesome photographer and a dress designer. She's won a bunch of awards, but she's just a helper. No, it's her job. I know IT guys who play the guitar. Are they IT guys? Or are they people who happen to work in IT who play the guitar? A job is not who you are. Parents are concerned that their kids are going to have to put effort into it. They don't understand the path because they haven't walked that journey. But a doctor has expertise because they study. An artist isn't just an artist. You don't click. You don't flick a switch and become an artist. An artist is a mindset, it's creativity, it's practice, it's hard work. And it's that I think holds a lot of people back.
I think I'm quite speechless with whatever you just said. It takes a while for me to process everything, but I definitely get what you're talking about. And wow. It makes me kind of reflect, being a youth in Singapore is like, I don't want to chase the rat race. Oh no.
Keeping it real on Clinically Awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to chase the rat race, I mean, it's like, yes, previously, filmmaker called Zhang, he was saying, keep your job,
Ah!
The floor is lava.
Ah!
The floor is lava.
We've just come back because there was a cut there. You don't know what happened, but you're interested. Here on Clinically Awesome.
So, we're back to question 4, which is, what is your favorite comic book artist? Favorite comic book artist?
Well, that's such a layered question.
Please don't mention the very typical Superman.
What is a comic? Do you know a comic that I absolutely love is The Smurfs by Peyo. There is a joy to his illustration. There's a complexity to the world that he built, and this is an unseen world. I looked like Trump then. This is an unseen world. It's the best world. I love the artwork. It's gorgeous. I'm a big fan of Mike Mignola, Hellboy, The Amazing Screw-On Head. The first issue of artwork that I ever saw from Mike Mignola was a Superman issue that I bought at the newsagents. The beauty, and I'm going to old man talk for a minute, very lagiloso. Back in the day, in the southern province of China, you'd go into the newsagents and they would just get comics. It's like, here's 100 comics that they would put out on the shelves, and they get their comics every week. So you would go in and you didn't always get sequential issues. You also didn't need to read stuff in order. If you missed an issue, you'd keep reading and you'd catch up and you'd work out what happened. We didn't have Wikipedia. You had friends who might have an issue. In Australia in those days, there was one comic shop. Don't Google that, because that comic shop did some bad stuff. Like very bad stuff. When we cut, I'll tell the crew here and they'll go, what the gosh, holy wow.
Oh my God.
But Mike Madola, who else? This is going to be quite controversial because of what's happened just this last week. Ed Piskor, his work is strong, and there's a passion to it. It's not the most diligently drafted work, but there's a vision and there's an honesty to it, and it's not held back by hands are hard to draw. Hands are hard to draw, and this is a common thing. I often get asked, so what tools do you use to make it easier to draw? And there's this. There are no tools to make it easier to draw. You've got to practice everything. I have a friend in the Philippines, Randy Valiente. Shout out, Randy. I don't know if we're friends. I know Randy, and I don't know if Randy knows me. And he talked about using sticks to draw. He would literally pick up sticks outside. Kids, remember I was talking about outside? Out there.
Touch grass.
Touch grass. Pick up sticks. Don't pick up snakes. So he would pick up sticks and you'd cut the tips off, and inspired by him, I started cutting bamboo in my mum's front yard. And I would then sit there with my pocket knife. Oh, knives are bad. Knives are tools. And I would create a nib and then dip it in ink. The tools are not magic. It's the practice, it's the performance, and it's having the courage to put pen to paper. Now, this is another controversial figure who was very, very famous in the early 90s, but also got mocked for his ability, and has recently spoken about that in light of the Ed Piskor complexity tragedy. Rob Liefeld. Now, Rob Liefeld, people are still saying to this day, he can't draw. He can't draw. He can't draw feet. He can't draw hands. And yeah, there are elements of his artwork that are interesting. But dude's also a millionaire. There is something that resonates. His artwork has found an audience. I cannot say he's a bad artist whilst I'm selling 40 or 50 copies of a book and he's selling 100,000 copies. I made those numbers up, so don't audit me. This is a guy who loves comics, and I'm going to get flack for this, is still drawing, while old Todd is selling toys and not drawing. And Todd's a left-handed brother, like me. There's so few of us in the world. We've got to look out for each other. But dude, keep drawing. Draw. It's like, I love your 7-inch toys that don't work with any of my other figures. It's great. No, keep doing superpowers. I love those. I love that I'm assuming Todd's going to be watching this. Other artists that I love. Robert McGuinness.
I have no idea who's that.
Robert McGuinness is, and he's still alive and he's still painting. He used to do, still does, the covers for these lurid pulp crime drama novels. And the artwork is just gorgeous. That is something I wish I could do. And I need to sit down one day when I've got 5 years off and just teach myself to do that. Who else do I like? Everybody. Everything. You've got to look at everything. I recently bought the Akira Toriyama Sandland graphic novel comic collection. Sandland is currently an animated series on Netflix. Check it out. Sandland is beautiful as an animated piece of work. It's CGI, it's 3D, but there are frames of this show that look like he sat down and drew the artwork. And it's just gorgeous. They've captured the essence of his art to create a cartoon out of a 20-year-old story. So, I'm super lagi loso. For our overseas viewers, that means talks a lot.
Yapping.
Are there any key takeaways from all of the wisdom that I've shared that you wanted to ask about?
I don't think I can possibly sum up what you just told me in this video, and we'll definitely do it off camera.
You know what would be really funny? If then I say, well, let's just review the video, and then you see the and we do the whole video and it's in like 5 seconds, and then we both go, wow, we're back. To Clinically Awesome.
I love your energy. It's infectious.
That's a thing. That's a key takeaway. Life is so good. There are so many awesome things out there. I met a new friend last night. Hey, Chris. And we were talking about there's so much shit in the world. That's an Australian word. I mean bad stuff. There's so much shit in the world, and if you focus on that, you don't focus on the joy. Ferris Bueller told us life moves pretty fast, and if you don't slow down and smell the flowers, it just might pass you by. It's a kid's movie. It was a teenager's movie in the 80s. But it's true. You need to embrace the energy. It's like Stan Bush said, it's like Stan Bush said, you got the touch, you got the power, bum bum. After all is said and done. Are we going to get demonetized because that's copyright? No, that was my cover version. This is Danger Jean singing You Got the Touch. So, a key takeaway is just be, just don't think. Okay, do think. Don't do illegal stuff. Kids, don't do illegal stuff, and don't do dangerous stuff, because dangerous stuff will get you hurt and killed. And remember, whatever doesn't kill you could put you in a wheelchair for life. Be careful. B, Batman would not be saying, I don't know what to do. I'm shy. He'd be saying, well, that's all right, chums. I'm here to tell you to remember. Take 2. He would say, that's right, chums. Remember, like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to share. You're watching Clinically Awesome.
Thanks, Adam West.
I'm Batman.
No,
So that's what you do. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, click, click, action.
And we're back.
I'm Batman.
She is.
I can do it.
I've never seen Batman and Deirdre in the same place at the same time.
Oh my god.
Secrets revealed. Tonight on Clinically Awesome, unveiled, revealed, I'm speaking to Batman.
Come on, give me one good one.
So Deirdre's going to talk about how we've got a lucky draw.
So, what's this bag on this table?
This is a tote bag, not a stoat bag. A stoat bag would be a bag for weasels. This is my character Space Cat, Singapore's favourite cat. And I have this bag for a very lucky viewer of today's show. How would they get the bag?
So, like, share, and comment down the code here. Yeah. And also subscribe, most importantly.
And how soon will the very lucky winner know that they've won?
3 days.
3 days. That's a Jane's Addiction song. So her name's Deirdre, and my name's...
Danger Jean.
And I've been very proud to be a guest here on Clinically Awesome. Stay tuned. Well, the video's over, so if you stay tuned, it's just going to play the next video on YouTube. That's how the rabbit hole works, right? The algorithm. But subscribe to the channel. Come back, because there's heaps and heaps of amazing artists from Singapore and the region. And you can learn all about the Singapore artistic and creative community right here on, let's say it together, Clinically Awesome.
Yippee!
Bye.